What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and obviously gym rats, gym bros, gym girls. This is a special episode to all of you guys. So today we're gonna talk about our gym routine and of course diet as well. And this is gonna be a mix of bro science and of course actual science. Cause we love the science part, but a little bit of bro science can never hurt nobody. Exactly. We're gonna try to break it down as easy as possible and not go into the scientific details because man, we barely understand the shit. Doesn't matter anyways if you understand that it
As
works.
long as it
you don't have
works.
to understand why. Exactly. What's the fucking point?
Exactly. All right, Mark. So let me just start with this. How long have you been working out, and what does our actual routine look like? What are our splits, etc.
All right. So we've been working out since we are, well, let's say 18. So at this point, almost 14 years. We only did one bodybuilding competition. Well, it just one time last year. It was 2 years, a year and a half ago. It was a lot of fun. We don't like dieting. We are basically lean all year round. So, but this one was specifically hard because we have to diet then even further. So we did like a 4 week super harsh diet, but was fun.
4
was
weeks,
super
yeah.
cool. Yeah, exactly. But honestly, not something for us because at some point your decision making goes down the drain.
It's
Hell,
like,
man.
you'd work and you're like, oh, should I do that hard task? No, let me do the simple ones. You feel like when you have decision fatigue, right? So you're doing something and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Like how you feel at the end of the day when you have the option between an apple and a donut, and you tend to grab the donut because you used all your good willpower at the beginning of the day. That's how you feel during the entire day. So definitely not recommendable. It's also just for a show. It's not healthy. But anyways, what a great experience. It's like some people want to run a marathon. We want to do a bodybuilding competition. So yeah,
it was nice. We got a posing done, of course.
Ooh, some sexy
Double
posing here and
guns.
there. And everybody who's just listening to us on Spotify, you're like, what the fuck are these guys doing? I don't even see them.
Well, don't worry, you gotta exhale.
Oh yeah,
All right,
baby.
so Lucas, you asked about what is our workout routine, right?
Yes.
So we are currently running a 4-day split. Let's say a 5-day split. So 4 days. The first day starts out with back, biceps, and rear delts. We start with back, or at least that was my reasoning, because I want this to be strong as possible. Because we currently have a disbalance between chest and back, and in general, when you're always hunched over because we work with our computers a lot, it's good to have the back well trained so that you are more straight and your posture is better. Then the second day, we do Lucas's favorite day. Lucas, what is that?
Chest, triceps, shoulders, baby. So but honestly, my biggest focus if I do chest is actually the flies, because there's been some studies that show that actually when the muscles in the biggest stretch, so for example, if you do the first 30 to 40% of like when it's most stretched, then it's actually what gets most of the gains.
All right, Lucas, let's talk about this also when we have in the summary as well, when we talk about all the concepts that we apply in our training.
Yeah, I just want to throw it in there. But yeah, I actually really like flies a lot. Then some light shoulders between like 3 to 6 sets, not more, and then triceps 6 sets as well there. And yes, basically it. And then our next day is
legs. The good old
legs,
legs. We do all of it together. And then last day, Lucas, we got the arms and shoulders again.
Yes.
So Lucas,
question is, why now shoulders, arms again, right? So the logic is the following. So shoulders, we doing just the side raises on chest. I mean, front.
Well, and I'm back a little bit rear delts.
Yeah, and front you're working out anyways on chest. And then we can go heavier on the shoulder days alone. So actually that's when we're doing 12 sets there. And triceps, biceps, because you don't do any volume before on back, and like on the other day, back or chest day, you can go heavier there as well. So you have one where you can go higher reps, and then the only day, arm day, basically you can go higher weight and lower rep range, so you can focus on both, which I really like. And then there as well, just between roughly 6 sets per muscle, like biceps, triceps, and then 12 for shoulders.
So Lucas already mentioned a couple of things. So these are a couple of concepts that we actually implemented in our workout. So a few concepts are junk volume, overtraining, and optimal volume per week.
Yeah.
And obviously then a rep range and set
Mark,
series.
What the hell is junk volume, bro? Like, what the hell is junk volume? You go in
all
the
right,
junkyard
junk volume. Junk volume is like junk food, bro. If you do it too much, it's fucking horrible for you. So basically, end of the day, what it means is there's a number of series or sets that you can do per day or per week, and anything above that,
it's just not going to help you. It's just it's overtraining. End of the day, you go into the state of overtraining, and it's going to take you longer to recover, and you're not going to have more gains, less gains. Let's put it this way. I mean, even though like some people are like, oh yeah, man, I do like another 5 or 6 sets, and I get that amazing pump. Yeah, you might get a pump, but this is not optimal for like muscle gain. So
Exactly.
yeah, that's where you have to differentiate between those two as well.
So what does it look like? So basically, junk volume says anything per, let's put per workout, and there's per week. Okay, so per workout, it's between for big muscle groups such as quads, back, hamstrings, well, chest you can count as well, depends, but mostly not. 9 to 12 sets, and then the small muscle groups is between the 6 and 8 rep set range. These are the volumes that you can do per actually a day. And then per week, it's the double. It's double that. It's usually between 20 to 28 is optimal volume per large muscle group. And for smaller ones is between 12 and 16, depending on your current status.
So, Mark, what does it all count for, right? So, for example, let's say I'm doing 12 sets of back exercises. Does it count for biceps as well, or how does it work?
So there's okay. This is a little bit more controversial. So some people count it as also as like a biceps workout, and normally it should be. I do not count it as a biceps workout. That's why I have, for example, my back workout. I have 12 sets of back, and then even then I differentiate between some parts of it. So I have because the back is consisting of different muscle groups like traps, lats, etc.
Yeah.
And so they have a little bit more volume in total, but I'd consider myself to I still do 6 sets of biceps additionally, even though you should consider that normally to your work, to your abs. Sorry, Jesus guys, to your total volume.
But still, then I mean, let's do the math. If you should do between 20 and 28 sets per week per muscle group. So for biceps, for example, you
Mhm.
have 12 for a back. That's
Well,
already
no, you don't, because look, if you don't do it, for example, deadlift is not biceps, right? Depends on what kind
that's
of
true.
back
Okay, if
exercise
you
you
do
do.
rowing, for example, if you do lat pulls, that one you can count for biceps for sure. But when
Yeah,
you
for
do
sure.
actually, let's be real. When do you do deadlifts? Exactly.
Well, I did. I had to do it last year. I did a couple months because I had a bicep tendon injury, or I still have it a little bit, and I couldn't do it, so I did deadlifts.
But most of the time, deadlift is not recommendable. It's just like the worth. It's not the risk return for what the risk you're taking on your body is not worth the gains that you might get from them. Like once,
100% agree.
yeah, and even professional bodybuilders or no, yeah, powerlifters also say that, hey man, if you're competing, it's worth it. Otherwise,
If you're
don't do it.
competing as a professional deadlifter
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something with
Yeah,
deadlifts, then
powerlifter.
yes, otherwise no.
Otherwise, it's not worth doing. It's just not worth the risk. Not the risk return is not worth it. It's like I rather if I can max it out, like let's say I can hit 95% of the gains with like 40% less risk, I'm going for it. So definitely worth it.
All right, guys. At the beginning, I already told you guys it's a 5-day split, but we only considered, well, I only talked to you guys about 4. So we did the first day back by Riedel's chest is the second, third is legs, and the fourth is arms and shoulders. So the 5th day is called our spa day. So because we have at our
Well,
gym, we
I
have a
call it
sauna and a pool.
active recovery, Mark. Call it
Active
better.
recovery.
Active
Well, actually,
recovery.
I consider it even differently. I call
Yeah.
it even, this is my mental workout day, right? Why do I want to do this? Well, 2 things why I like the mental day, whatever, active recovery day. First of all, sauna and ice pool has shown to increase your health and overall metabolism increase, as well as might increase your hormone group
Well,
HGH, so
growth
human growth
hormones.
hormone.
So, well,
Exactly.
but that's the sauna, right? That's not the ice pool.
Yeah, but in combination, both is really good. It
Yeah.
increases the effectiveness.
So for those people who don't know, if you go, for example, in the ice pool helps increasing your endorphins. So basically, your endorphins levels stay elevated for long hours afterwards. So if you can stay in 3 to 5 minutes, that's amazing, especially in the morning. So yeah, that's really, really good. Actually, ice pools, for example, directly after workout are not optimal because it decreases inflammation in the muscles, which are actually kind of needed for actually the muscle growth. So you should do it, I think, 4 to 6 hours after you work out, maximum, or just a day on your recovery day. So that's it for that part. But also, funny part. So Uberman. So for those guys who know Uberman, Uberman was talking about in the latest podcast about the anterior mid cingulate cortex. So basically, there's a part of the brain which grows when you ever do things that you don't want to do. So, for example, you're struggling to go in the sauna for, like, let's say after 10-15 minutes. Man, I am struggling in the sauna because I'm like, oof, it's so hot, I want to leave, but I'm fighting till I'm hitting 20 minutes. This helps this region to basically grow, meaning, so you can also just say your willpower.
It's
Basically, your
called
will.
willpower, bro. It's so much easier.
So
Let's
yeah,
go
so
to
your willpower
technical.
increase, exactly. So your willpower increases, but it's like any muscle. If you train it, it grows. But at the same time, if you ignore it and don't do anything, it will just shrink again. So that's, I think, like really, really fascinating because the concept was always there.
Yeah, there's also another thing that is super interesting I found is that people that the older they get, the as part of the region or the region of the brain gets smaller and smaller, and there might be evidence pointing out towards if you're about to die, or whatever, it is almost diminishing. So if you keep that alive or keep it higher, the longer you will live. Apparently, there are some hints that might lead to that. Anyways, but coming back to why I fucking love the spa and the sauna and the cold water, because I fucking used to hate going to the sauna. It is super uncomfortable. You're super sweaty and you're just in uncomfortable, super
Same as the ice
uncomfortable.
pool.
Same
Fucking
as the
cold
ice
as
pool.
fuck.
It's cold as fuck. So afterwards, honestly, this is my mental workout. I'll go there and there. It's like, fuck yeah, I'm going to stay in here as long as possible. And you can apply this to other parts of your life. Sometimes you're in an uncomfortable situation, but you just hang in there. And this is exactly the same situation. You just sit there with your own thoughts. You can think through the day. Amazing. That's why I love these fucking, 20. I try to aim for 30, but I usually reach between 20 and 25 minutes in the sauna, and then the ice pool, like 3 to 5 minutes.
Let's go. That's the, and then of course after the rest day, well, the fifth day, we start from zero again. So that's basically in 7 days we hit, or every 5 days we hit the same muscle group again. So then we start with back again, and that's about all the workout routine. So Mark, let's switch to our food or dietary intakes. I think that's really, really important because most people are always just wondering how you can stay lean. So maybe just talk about a little bit about breakfast and stuff. I think that might be really, really
Right.
important.
First, I want to talk about a few concepts. So, based on our understanding, so food is considered this split into macros and micros. So, macros are carbs, fats, and proteins. Everyone knows these. So, and the micro that is super important is just fiber, end of the day. The rest, for our understanding, is at this point not that important. So, understand that protein is also super, super important. Per kilogram, you should have 2.2 grams of protein intake at each day. So
Okay,
basically for us, that's 82, that's 164 grams for me.
just
Yeah.
clamping in right there. I think a concept that is really, really important to understand for people who don't know anything about working out or want to lose fat. Basically, if you eat more calories than your body needs, you gain weight. And if you eat less than
Perfect.
your body needs, you lose weight. That's a
Hmm.
simple as that. Like, of course, you can go into detail, like what kind of foods or macros you eat will keep you full for longer. So it makes the diet easier. But in the end, that is the most important concept. If you understand this, so if you shut your mouth and don't eat, you're gonna lose weight. So that's a basic concept. I think it's really, really important because like people always make it like a rocket science out of it, but in the end, it can be broken down to very simple concepts, and that's one of them.
All right, lads. So first thing I do in the morning, I take my vitamins. I take omega-3, I take a vitamin D3 and a multivitamin. So I have all these things covered, especially in the winter, vitamin D3, super important.
Why
All
is
right,
vitamin 3 so important, Mark?
D3. So usually it is created when you're out in the sun. It increases your happiness as well as energy levels. It's super important in the energy production in the cell. So there's actually a lot of people that have vitamin D deficiency, especially people that are usually from further, but closer to the equator, and then come to more northern countries.
Background
Um,
story, baby. So when we were teenagers, so we started taking vitamin D like for now at least 14 or 15 years. And back in the day, it was always just like in winter, we always like, oh man, why do I feel like so depressed? Or like, why is the mood so dampening? Till like someday we're just like reading about vitamin D3, start taking it, and it's like, oh my God. I feel like in summer, so it's like really, really nice for those who don't take it. Please start taking it. It's really, really important. It's also super, super cheap.
and
Probably
it's
with
safe.
vitamin, yeah,
You
safe.
can't overdose, basically.
Yeah, and with the vitamin, with the multivitamin combined, man, you got most of it covered. People always say, "Hey, you can just eat the same amount of fruits." Like, bro, I don't have time to eat like 10 different
Also,
fruits to
fruits
cover
has
all
a
of
lot of
it.
fucking sugar, bro.
Yeah. So that's why I'm also taking my multivitamin. Yeah.
All right. So coming back to it. So my first meal or our first meal is basically oats. So we buy instant oats of my protein and just protein. So protein powder. So I mix this in a shake. Usually it's 100 to 120 grams of oats with around 70 to 80 grams of protein powder. So that's roughly a shake of 700 calories in the morning. And we do this at 9 after our daily walk. And we
Yeah.
have the same again after the workout.
Which is roughly at 2:30.
Exactly.
So
In
yeah,
between, we also have a quick snack. So before the going to the gym,
like
because we get snacky
12-ish.
around 12ish exactly. We
Yeah.
get eat an apple
Oh, we go
because
to the
we
gym at
fucking love
1.
apples.
Yeah, we
Yes.
go to the gym at 1, so probably just like some pretzels, some carbs with an apple because I just like apple. And then yeah, go to the gym. Let's go work out, have the shake, and then around 4:30 or 5, we're having like another meal. So this can be maybe a steak with bread, or yeah, it normally has a protein source with carbs. But yeah, and then in the evening, yeah, I sometimes, to be honest, if I'm
This
lazy,
guy
don't
is a
have
cereal boy.
anybody, I'm a serial killer. And with this,
Serial
I
killer.
mean
This guy,
literally
not
a
sometimes, bro.
serial
You eat
killer.
fucking a lot of cereal, bro. Because what do you
That-
put in your cereal, Lucas?
so I mix like I don't know, I take like 400 to 500 no 500 milliliters of milk, but like the 0%, the basically water with a little bit of coloring, and then a
What's
scoop
your
of protein.
favorite cereal?
Oh yeah. So first of all, I put a protein scoop of vanilla in there, and then I mixed it with Weetabix Choco Mini. Oh my god! And yes, I'm a weirdo. I put the milk in first, and then the Weetabix, because we all know I like them crunchy. I don't like them soggy. And everybody who does all the way other way around, they're weirdos. Just letting it throwing it out there.
Serial killer,
But
this
yeah.
guy. This guy's a serial killer. Austin is so sweet, man. I don't know if you guys. I find that too sweet. I can't eat it because Weetabix are already decently sweet, and then he puts the chocolate, vanilla milk in it. Oof, I can't drink it. I can't eat it. It's too sweet for me.
But honestly, it is like I don't even know how, but Weetabix Choco Mini got rated an A on the Nutri score. I don't even know how. Like this
Because
is
they have high fiber,
yeah.
and
That should be
sugar is
different
18
episode.
grams,
Just
right?
like how they people like some companies manipulate the score. Like there's like
Yeah, it's
I think like
horrible.
18 grams of sugar in that and has chocolate pieces in it. I don't know how to get an A. But anyways, I like it. With the protein it keeps me full. So I really recommend that one as well. But yeah, it's crazy.
All right. To summarize on the diet part, look, guys, important is a few things. You have to get your fiber in. Fiber is important for your digestion and in general for your entire colon health. Super, super important. Get your protein in, 2.2 grams per body weight. The rest fill up with carbs and fats. Fats stay with not multisaturated, but the clean fats. And then carbs, you can eat whatever you want.
Just to climb in there quickly. For example, okay, so for those who don't know, so your stomach has 3 indicators that tell you you're full. One
Oh,
is
yeah.
if you have enough protein in there, so your body says, "Oh man, I have enough protein, perfect, great." Second one is if you have enough fats, then your stomach's like, "All right, okay, guys, slow down a little bit." And the third one is volume, right? So if the volume is like big enough, then it also will fill up. So, for example, if you eat a lot of carbs, just like spaghetti, without anything, bro, you can eat so much and you will still feel hungry. So that's one of the biggest problems there. So yeah, that's I think it's interesting. That's why also they recommend, for example, before you start eating, drink a glass of water, so you at least have already some of the volume in there.
I think we forgot to mention. So we basically drink also per day roughly between 4 and 5 liters of water.
Yeah,
Super important. Stay
easily.
hydrated. A lot of people nowadays are dehydrated, which leads to obviously a lot of health issues in the long
Yeah.
term. And also, you can't focus, which sucks in your day to day. You can't even
Yeah,
enjoy.
you have less energy, etc. Also, so Alexa Mosey actually said that once or a couple times. So he always says like about dieting, get your protein in as early as possible. So for example, if you have like early protein intakes in the morning or in general, so for example, you're trying to hit as soon as possible, like your 2x, 2 point something x protein of your body weight, because then first of all you're going to stay full with that protein, and then later you can just like fill the rest up with other stuff, right? So you don't end up at the end of the day it's like, oh man, I still have to eat a chicken breast, right? So you can just like at the beginning, which anyways keeps you full, and then in the end you can just eat yeah, mix it up or fill it up with other stuff. It's also like might be a good recommendation, so you start early with protein because it also fills you up.
All right. Now come the most important part Sleep. Get you 8 hours of sleep, and that's it.
Man, so important. I think this is also the most underrated part, because there are a lot of studies that actually show people with the same amount of calories, but then the ones who sleep like less, and the ones who sleep like 8 hours, like the
Are
one
these twin
gains.
studies?
So actually Claudia sent me this. I'm not sure whether it's a twin study, but actually, well, in the participants, you can see that the one who slept less hours like gained fat, where the other one gained muscle. So it's like kind of an interesting, even though the intake was the same, it's interesting how much sleep can impact all of this, like energy, testosterone levels,
Hormones,
all
yeah,
of
everything.
this. Yeah. So yeah, guys, get your 8 hours of sleep. So it's not worth it if you optimize all the other thing like nutrition and as well as workout if you skip on your recovery, which is also your sleep. So really important, guys.
Also, alcohol fucks you up big time.
Oh yeah, so Mark,
And licorice. Licorice fucks
oh
you up
yeah,
too. Don't
yeah,
eat licorice.
licorice I think decreases your testosterone by I think 30% or something like this if you eat like a few, like not even much. Licorice uh testosterone after 1 week decreases, the man testosterone
26%.
value decreased by 26% after 1 week of treatment. So yeah, it's not good at all. So yeah, guys, don't use or don't eat licorice. Not really good for you guys, at least not for your testosterone level.
And oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to say. So look, guys. Also, one thing that people have, most of you guys have stopped. Well, I actually forgot. So stop eating when you're like 80% full, because then you're actually full already. And most people overeat. They don't understand when they're actually full. It's at 80% usually.
Yeah.
Okay, because it takes the body to realize that you're full. So stop eating when you're 80%, and then you will feel in 10 15 minutes afterwards you feel 100% full. You feel good.
So basically, another thing which I think is kind of interesting. So guys, for those who don't know, so for example, if you take 1,000 steps, that's 30 to 40 calories. So if you go hit your 10,000 steps, that's 300 to 400 calories. So for those people who don't walk at all, and those who get the 10,000 steps, like they have another budget of like between 300 to 400 calories, right? So that makes also a huge difference in like burning fat, right? So if your normal consumption is like 2,000 calories, but you actually make your 10,000 steps, well, you burn an additional 3 to 400. So I think that's really important and should be considered. And yeah, I think that's a good one. And Mark, that's the pot.
That's
All right,
it,
everybody.
ladies and gentlemen.
That was the bro science to actual science podcast. And of course, if you like this pod, share it with your friends, give it us 5 stars or whatever you want. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Peace.